Hey you guys, it's your girl Pinky. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you guys. Um, I know y'all probably asking yourself like, well, what's up with the makeup? What's going on? What's the occasion? My birthday was May 14th, which was also Mother's Day. So my fiance surprised me with an actual paid reserved photo shoot to take pictures by myself and also together for my birthday. I went out to eat. He bought me Victoria's Secret and a ring, some more charms to my bracelet, and we had a nice dinner outing. It was so wonderful. I enjoyed my birthday. So I had celebrated Mother's Day and my birthday on the same day. So I bought, little basic makeup stuff and to make myself look decent for pictures. And I just fell in love with makeup. So I've been practicing doing makeup on my little downtime, just trying to learn how to do some little stuff or whatever. So yeah, I'm feeling myself right now. So, and I know y'all also wondering like, what am I doing home? Y'all normally see a video of me on the truck because I'm always on the truck. So, little update with you guys. I quit Werner. I quit Saturday. Matter of fact, today is Tuesday. I quit Saturday. So, and I want to tell you guys why I quit. I know I did previous videos of, inspirational videos on, if you can't accept the minimum and find gratitude and peace and appreciation and gratefulness in the minimum stage of your life, what makes you think that you're prepared and well equipped for the maximum? So there's reasons why God has you at a certain point in your life where you feel stagnant, but it's for a reason, because God knows the desires of your heart. But if you're not mentally, emotionally, and spiritually equipped for these blessings, he's not going to give them to you right away. He has to work on you internally. So, and that's what I learned on this journey. And I got to a point on my spiritual journey where I started to realize my worth. Okay? So I'm going to tell you the difference. I didn't quit because of just the money. I mean, that's part of it. Because I want to be paid what I'm worth, and I'm a damn good worker. But also because how Werner treated me. And I will tell you this. So I know y'all heard in the last video that I posted the conversation that me and my fleet manager had. I discussed this with you guys in the last video. So I started to feel within a couple of weeks from that point that they used my situation against me. You know where I'm trying to get, but you're only going to give me just enough to keep me stagnant. I felt like they had the upper hand over me. And what I mean by that is I come to realize that they was not paying me the miles that I actually drive. And I'm not saying this for everybody. I'm just saying this for me because this is what I come to realize. Werner advertised that they pay you cents per mile. But I come to realize they only pay you from zip code to zip code. So let's say if your trip is 502 miles. That's what the trip that they sent you over the ELD tablet says. This trip is 502 miles. But when you type that address into the co-pilot on the tablet, and also your personal GPS, if you have one, truck GPS, it'll say 520 or 530 miles. And I'm like, so you are not paying me 530 miles. You're only going to pay me for 502. Oh no. So I talked to them about that. It was like, oh yeah, we pay from zip code to zip code, but you can send in your mile corrections every week along with your bills, and we actually will adjust them. So you can get paid the actual amounts that you're driving for each trip. So I was like, oh, okay. So I've been emailing them along with my bills. You know what I'm saying? These are your bills. They're not going to look exactly like this, but they're going to look similar to this when you pick up your loaded trailer. So I was sending them in every week. I send the total of whatever loads I did. I send it in an email with the trip ID from my deadhead to my line haul. Deadhead is when you have an empty trailer and you're on your way to your destination to pick up your loaded trailer. That's deadhead miles. Line haul is the miles you drive with a loaded trailer to its actual ending destination. So I'm like, I'm putting those in every week for each load that I do every week. And I noticed that a certain amount of time, and it's been pretty slow. So I was doing like 2-3 loads a week, guys. 2-3 loads a week. I would get a check that's like $800 something, $900 something. But why all of a sudden last week I do 6 loads and I get paid $978? So I'm like, this is not making no sense. So I talked to my fleet manager. He was like, oh, I'm not adjusting the miles and the trip. I'm just giving you layover in your miscellaneous earnings. He said you have to go on work day to actually see those layover pays. You're not going to see them on the actual app when you go to the icon that says pay. So I was like, okay. So I went in the work day, went to pay, look at the PDF form, and I'm seeing it. But it's like 150. And I'm like, I calculated my miles that I missed, multiplied it by the cents per mile that they pay me, by the cents per mile, and it's still not adding up. So you only pay me 150, and not to mention the fact that's being taxed still. So I'm not seeing my money. And then you will pick and choose what check you want to put it on. So let's say if I do a good bit of loads this week, you're not going to pay me my mile corrections on this check. You're going to probably pay me a little percentage of that, and then the rest of it goes on my next week check. So you're shitting me. Excuse my French to anybody that's young and, you know, offensive or profanity, but that I was pissed, okay? So you're not actually paying me the miles that I've driven. You're picking and choosing when you want to give me my miles. So I'm like, okay. So we talked about it. And he was like, I swear I'm putting them on there. I have to make sure that but I have to make sure also that it's being approved. I said, well, you're telling me it's sent on there. So obviously if you're telling me that, that means it's approved. Okay, so we ran into a situation where Memorial Weekend, everybody knows as truck drivers, people don't drive on Memorial Weekend. People don't drive on Memorial Day unless you really just can't afford to take the day off. There's trucks parked. So if I happen to come past Atlanta, I go to the Atlanta terminal. I drop my truck off and I go home if I'm delivering a load to Madison, Alabama. Because you're going to pass Atlanta going to Madison, Alabama when you're coming from Savannah. So I'm like, shoot, I'm going to go home. So I got to Atlanta, I want to say like Friday afternoon. Now, no, I'm lying. Thursday afternoon. I wake up Friday to go up to the terminal. Come to find out, I'm stuck. They had trailers and trucks parked everywhere. I was blocked in. The mechanic was driving around his personal vehicle, taking down truck numbers and taking pictures because drivers was calling their fleet manager saying they could not get out. They are blocked in. So I was stuck for that whole day. The next day, I was still blocked in. All they did was move a couple of trailers over, but didn't think that I need that space to get around things with my trailer to get out. I'm going to wind up side swiping somebody's, equipment. And not to mention the fact, I'm going to talk to y'all about something because my truck got hit at the terminal as well. This was another thing that made me quit because the game with me is you only get 2 strikes with me. You don't get a third, okay? So I'm going to explain to y'all because this story that I'm telling y'all right now was the second strike, okay? So I'm emailing them and sent them pictures. And I said, you know what? This is the second time I've been stuck. And they're also telling me when they do move the trailers, if I happen to leave, most likely 9 out of 10, I'm not going to be able to come back because they're only letting a certain amount of drivers into the terminal because they're overcapacitated. So like it's overcapacity in the terminal. They're turning drivers away, even drivers that have low of clock. Now I got to a point that had one driver that said that, look, I am literally out of time. I'm sitting here with -2 minutes talking to y'all on my 14 and my drives, which is my 11-hour clock. They had no choice but to let him in. And he had to park on Roadmaster parking lot. Because if you some people that work for Werner, you will notice some of their terminals have Roadmaster school right on the property at some of their terminals. So Atlanta is one of them. It's right down the hill next door to it. Truck drivers were parking in their terminal. In their parking lot with their equipment, truck and trailer and all. So it was very packed. And some people had to take the entrance to get out because the exit gate, it was just packed, y'all. But, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my belongings out of the truck and I'm going home. So my fiance went up there with me. We got all my stuff out of the truck. I dropped the trailer, went to the mechanic shop with the truck and said, can y'all take my CB out? They took my Pink Cobra breast cancer awareness CB out. And I gave them the keys. I gave them my tool bag, the fifth wheel puller. They was like, are you quitting? I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm totally done. And I turned my badge and my tablet in at the front desk in the terminal. I put it on the desk by the computer so I ain't got to worry about nobody taking the badge or the tablet. You can't say you ain't get your stuff. Because say if you don't turn in your tablet when you quit, that's $400 out your check. Okay? So I made sure they got all their stuff, all their belongings that got their name on it. And I took mine, and I left. The strike one, before that, my truck got hit, which is crazy. This happened this past Saturday. My truck got hit last Saturday. Some truck driver wasn't paying attention to his tandems, and his trailer kicked my passenger mirror into the window. So it scraped it real bad on the back of it, but pushed it in. Pushed my fender mirror, which is on the hood, out. You know, those mirrors face you, so you could be able to see where your steer tires are and your side bumper is. Push that out. Put tire marks all on the side of the hood and the bumper. Broke all my spikes off the passenger steer tire. Bent my steer tire on the passenger side axle. The safety specialist manager saw my truck and called me on my cell phone while I was on my way up there, because I had a load that had to be delivered. Was calling to tell me my truck's been hit, and he's looking at it. So he was like, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. I was like, is it damaged pretty bad? He was like, your axle, I could tell you right now, your axle is bent on the passenger side on the steer tire. And he was like, all your spikes been broken off. He said, and you got some scuffs from the trailer tires on your hood and your bumper. So he said, my advice to you is you're going to have to drop that trailer. You're going to have to turn your truck in to have an axle fixed, right steer axle fixed, and an alignment. I said, okay, I'm on my way. Matter of fact, I was on my way up there. So he's like, okay, I'll see you when you get here. He said, I do have the truck number because there was a truck driver that witnessed the incident. So I'll have that information for you because you're going to have to call RISC to report it. So long story short, I called RISC, gave them the truck number and everything, blah, blah, blah. The other truck driver just happened to leave the terminal. Now, he was nice enough to go to the trailer shop to tell them that he hit my truck. You get what I'm saying? So he was nice enough to do that. But he wasn't supposed to leave the terminal. He was supposed to actually call RISC at that moment. So they're trying to blame that on me and said that I was in an illegal parking space when I actually wasn't. I was in an actual safe parking space. There was plenty of room for him to maneuver. But what he did was he turned too soon, because the slang for trucking when you make turns is stay straight, turn late. So he turned too soon and clipped my truck with his trailer on the passenger side. So I turned my truck in. It was due for MTP on a Sunday. So I wound up giving my load to someone else. I wound up doing a 34. My truck went into the shop that Sunday and got an MTP inspection done. Now, I called my fleet manager to get an update on my truck because he stays in contact with the mechanic shop supervisor to see the updates on, his driver's trucks, whoever is under his name. So he found out about what happened to my truck and he was already on it. So when I called him that Sunday, he was saying that yeah, your truck just got out of the shop for MTP this morning. They're just waiting on it to go to the body shop for the bumper. I said, well, the bumper don't have to be replaced. I said, if they can just get that scuff off, because I don't have nothing to get it off. First of all, that's what mechanics get paid for. But I said, that ain't my job. Y'all, that's not in my job description to clean and scrub anything off the truck. I am paid to drive it. That's not my job. So he was like, okay, I'll message them to let them know if they could just, you know, remove the tire marks off of the bumper or whatever. Because long story short, you know, not long story short, but let's say down the line, when you work for a company and you get 3 services done in a couple of months, depends on the timeline for each company. You get an MTP, you get a DOT inspection, which means they update the DOT sticker on the truck. Also DOT inspections on trailers as well. If you're not aware of that, you always have to make sure that your DOT sticker is up to date on your equipment. Because guess who's going to get that fine if you want to get pulled over by a DOT? You. And then, I mean, it's charged to the company, but you're going to get in trouble for it, okay? It's going to be points on your license. You might get a fine. You might get put out of service. Or you might even get in trouble with the company if they wind up paying for the fines and the tickets. You get what I'm saying? So you always want to make sure you inspect your stickers, your DOT stickers, your equipment, okay? Because they're known for every certain amount of months. They have what truckers call a blitz, which means that randomly you're just getting pulled over for a random, which means they're doing a full inspection on your truck and your trailer, and looking at they need your bills, your in-cab registration papers, all of that. Okay, so mine's had to go for an MTP. Well, all they're doing is they're checking the airlines, they're checking the airs in the tires, the tread, the oils, the lights, make sure that all the lights are functioning properly, just basic stuff like that. Full service is when they change the oil in your filters, okay? And if they have to change the engine filter or whatever the case may be, they'll do it on the full service. So mine's had to get a MTP. Now a DOT, when they do DOT, they're checking for damages, they're checking for anything to be out of basically out of the inspection that's against regulations as far as inspections. But they also check the damage of the equipment because they keep record of that. If they notice that there was never anything marked in documentation that the truck received any type of damage, and you come in for a DOT and they notice damages, they're going to question you about that. So that's why I was asking them, could they get the scuff marks off the hood? Because I don't want that to bite me in the ass later on down the line and you come questioning me. You get what I'm saying? Because I didn't do nothing wrong. Somebody hit me. So, long story short, I called Monday. Okay, I didn't get another update about the truck until Monday morning. So I'm on the phone with my fleet manager, and he says, oh, I received an email that they didn't need to put it in the body shop. And I said, well, it would never need to be in the body shop. I just want them to get the scuffs off the bumper and the hood. He said, well, it's the email saying that MTP was good. There's no reason for a alignment or a axle need to be adjusted or fixed because the truck didn't take any hard damages due to not seeing any cracks or damage on the hood or the bumper. If there was if the bumper was falling off or the hood had a crack or the bumper had a crack in it, then that would give them an assumption that an axle needs to be fixed or adjusted, because obviously from the look of my truck, it hasn't been hit that hard. So they said you could tell your driver to buy a magic eraser and get the tire scums off herself. That was strike one for me. And when I told my fleet manager, I was like, is that what the email says? He was like, yeah, I'm reading it. And I was like, and he was laughing. I'm like, that's not funny. I said, because you're my fleet manager. I'm under you. You're supposed to make sure that my equipment is safe enough to put me back in it and get on the road. And he was like, I think he's just being an asshole. These his words. I think he's just being an asshole. Don't pay him no mind. I'll message him back and say, can they at least check the equipment, do a drive test or something to make sure that it's good, whatever. I said, matter of fact, can I have that email for my documentation? And there was just a long little pause. And I was like, hello? Yeah, I'm here. Just bear with me. I'll call you back if there's any updates, okay? I was like, okay. Make sure I messaged him and said, I know you heard what I said. I need that email for my documentations. Never received the email. So that let me know y'all covering each other. You feel me? I'm going to just say this, covering each other. No offense to nobody, but I noticed some of that in this company. I'm not going to lie to you. Because if it would have been anybody else, y'all would have made sure that truck was right. But, you know, for him to sit there and say to you that he's not going to do something, tell her to buy a magic eraser, that's what you get paid for. I didn't ask you to replace the bumper. I said to clean it off. Because y'all not going to question me about something that I didn't do. And then number two, they still didn't do the alignment saying her truck is done. So they refused to check my stuff. I was told by safety, the actual manager, safety manager of the terminal that's all over all the safety specialists, to put my truck in the shop because he seen my truck. And y'all refuse service? Okay. I told my fleet manager, I said, if anything happened to me while I'm on this road, somebody gonna get it. Oh, well, we could send you down to Lakeland. You know what? I don't want to deal with this terminal no more. It's always some bull crap with the maintenance. I'll just send you to Lake City. I said, that means I have to drive it to Lake City. We're in Atlanta. I mean, like I said, if you feel unsafe, you don't have to drive it. I just got quiet. I said, you know what? I'm going to get the truck. Whenever you're ready for me to roll, just send me a load. And I said, you know what? I ain't worried about it. I already got another company brewing because while my truck was in the shop, I done did a hair follicle and a urine test for a whole different company, waiting on that to brew. And then when I got back on the road, my fleet manager called me and was like, so I'm hearing that you applied for a different company named such and such. Is that right? I said, why would you ask me something if you already heard? Well, I just wanted to make sure, I said, yeah. He was like, well, are you planning to leave us? I said, I'm just weighing my options. I'm just weighing my options. I mean, what can we do to better? I said, look, we're not finna go down that road because I done talked to y'all about this same conversation with y'all for 2.5 years. Y'all will straighten up and tighten up for a week or two, and then y'all go back to the same BS. I said, I can't tell rent. The rent office, it's been pretty slow this week, so I ain't got the rent this week. I'm not finna continue to sit here, hold one check for 1 week, don't touch it till I get my next check to add together to pay my rent. That's stupid. I said I'd rather work a 9-to-5 job for that. And I'm on the road 7 days a week, 70 hours a week. Only come home for a day and a half, and that's 34. So I come home for a day and a half, I'm back on the road after my 34. I don't take a day off. I finally took a day off for my birthday. If I want to make between $500 and $900, $500 and $900 a week, I'd rather work a local account. I'm tired. I said, it ain't even about the miles, because even when you give me the miles, you still shitting me. You're not paying me when I'm actually driving. Well, all companies are like that. We're not talking about all companies. We're talking about Werner. I was like, you know what? I done gave y'all over 1,000% of me. Y'all ask me to do the dumbest stuff, I do it. People shut down or I put out a service. I'm driving miles off route to go pick up a load to get on my empty to finish off their load. They couldn't finish because they got put out of service. I'm doing all type of stuff. But I asked y'all to do one simple thing. And then, not to mention the fact, I have one incident on my FMCSA, which is not my fault. I got hit at a standstill on I-16 East, heading to Atlanta from Savannah. So I got hit at a standstill with my flashes on at 60 miles per hour by a Nissan Altima. Dude totaled his car, headlights came out the hood, like off his vehicle, and was sitting on the brake drums of my trailer. My DOT bumper on the trailer was bent in. He knocked the doors off the hinges at the bottom. He hit it that hard. His car was smashed. It felt like I backed up to a dock door so hard. This happened back in November 1st, 2021. 2021, okay? So the officer already told me that I had a witness, I had a truck driver that witnessed it. He said it's not her fault. He just straight up hit her heads on, like, just straight up hit her. Real ended her. Didn't even slam the brakes or nothing. Okay? So, and not to mention the fact, if I wasn't in the position I was in, it was a kill soul in front of me. He would have killed them people. He hit me at 60 miles per hour. I felt the impact in my seat. You know how you back up to a dock door so hard? That's what it felt like. I felt that. They kept me with that load for 3 days. The trailer was no good because he damaged the frame. So we had to switch my cargo into a whole different trailer. So I was stuck with that load for 3 days, okay? They paid me $300 layover for the issue. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it really had me messed up. But the officer told me in the midst of the incident, because they had to escort me to a safe haven because my trailer was no longer legal to drive because he messed up the tail lights and everything on the back of the trailer. So I had a police escort me in the back behind me being my signals, and somebody guided me to a safe haven they see trucks park at all the time off of I-16 until a wrecker come. I'm thinking the wrecker gonna tow me. He wound up hooking behind me to be my signal lights, and I had to drive. Now, mind you, this accident happened at 9, 10 o'clock, probably 8 o'clock, the earliest. That man ain't come to me till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I had to drive. Okay? Now, the officer did tell me when he gave me the paperwork, he was like, I'm going to let you know now, this going to be on your FMCSA. He said, any accidents that are not your fault or are your fault, they go on your FMCSA. So when this certain company that I'm going for now, which I done got hired with, so I'm actually just waiting a couple days, which is good because I can actually take a break to do what I need to do before I actually get back to trucking. And this company is a local account that I'm going on, so I'll be home every day. But anyway, they asked, no, when Werner realized that I put in my 2-week notice as of that day, that this company reached out to them. They told them, well, you know, this driver has an accident with us back in November 2021. So this company been asking for the information, right? So my onboarding supervisor, who has my application, been in contact with me. Every time she runs into a delay or she need information, whatever, she calls me. So she called me and was like, hey, Miss Lewis, how are you doing? I was like, good. She was like, now, she said, I want you to know that your urine came back clear, your hair follicle came back clear, your background, everything's looking good. The only thing we're waiting on is Werner. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, I said, what you waiting on with Werner? She said, well, they told us that you had an incident that happened back in November 2021. But ever since they told us that, they just being very spiteful on not giving us the information. So I was like, what do you mean? She was like, when we asked about it, they said they would have to transfer me to another department to get that information. So they put me in a brief hold. She said they transferred her over. Somebody answered the phone, and when she started telling them what she need and they asked for my name, the people hung up in her face. Wouldn't give her the information. So she's been, long story short, you guys, she been hounding them for 2 days straight trying to get this information because she said she was trying to get all this stuff in before Memorial holiday. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I said, well, try with them again. If you can't, it's crazy that you bringing this up. I said, because I've been slowly packing my stuff on this truck, and I happened to find the police report, the sheet that the officer gave me with the case number. She said, you got that? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's crazy. I just found it. So I was like, I'll do one even better. If you send me your email, I said, when I get to my stop, because I got to go pick up a load. So when I get to my shipper, I'll email you the picture of the form with the case number on it that the police officer gave me at the scene. And I even emailed you the pictures of the scene. She was like, you got all that? I said, yes, ma'am, because I had to send it to Risk when it happened. So I got all of that. So she was like, okay, good. She said, I'm still trying my end to reach out to Werner for this information. But if not, then I tried another way. So I was like, okay. So I wound up sending her the information. I kid you not. I think that's Saturday. The lady wasn't in, the onboarding supervisor wasn't in, so somebody else called me and said that they happened to get all the information they needed. So my application was approved. My start date is June 12th, but they said you should get a call from your onboarding supervisor way before then. She said, matter of fact, after Memorial Day, they're going to call you because they probably going to get you in even sooner than you think, since we got everything. So I was like, oh, okay. Because at first my hiring date was the 19th, and then they changed it to the 12th. And they telling me they probably going to have me come in way earlier. I was like, you know what? This ain't nobody but God. And I left Werner Saturday. I was like, you know what? It's okay to be content where you are with your life, but especially dealing with what you're dealing with. But when you know your worth and you know either a company or a business or a person, a friend, a family member, don't matter, is taking advantage of you or treating you a certain way less than how you treat yourself and your value, they're not giving you your value worth. Cut them off. Because I had God kept saying to me, he was like, now that you know who you are with me, and you come to know me for yourself, and I'm showing you who you are with me, do you know your worth? Are you going to settle for less? And then he kept asking me, what do you really want? And what do you really need? Do you know the difference between the two? Because I didn't know at that time that I was seeking the world for financial increase instead of seeking God. And when I made the decision to look for a better opportunity as far as with trucking and everything, I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt this guilt on my heart, like, God, am I just moving so fast? Am I doing this without considering you? Like, I'm doing this because I want better, but Lord, if this be thy will, I know you'll make this happen for me. And it was crazy because this lady had reached out to me months ago. I want to say like sometime last year for about this rail yard position, local account. And I told her right now I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to stay or if I'm going to leave, because right now I got a lot going on. She said, okay, well, let me know and keep in touch with me, because she said this account, they just recently opened up some spots. And I don't want you to miss the opportunity because it gets filled very fast. When people get on this account, they just don't leave it. So she said two openings came available. So she was like, I'm telling you now, it's a hit and miss. And when I reached back out to her, like a week before last, she told me she remembered me and everything. She was like, I remember you. She was like, I remember talking to you. You from Florida? I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, it's crazy that you called me. She said, there's a position open still. And I said, I'm going to take it. She was like, you sure? Because I don't want you to do all of it and you back out like you did last time. I was like, no, I'm positive this time. Because I'm not going to lie, I was fear. It was fear. It was really fear. And I'm not going to lie to you. I told my dad this the other day. I said, I feel like Werner had me at this point where I felt like I couldn't find anything better. But also I feel like I'm going to wind up leaving and things don't work out and come right back. Because I done seen a lot of people left the company and came right back. And my dad was like, people like that don't know their worth. That's what my dad kept saying to me. People like that don't know their worth. Because if I leave you, I'm not coming back to you. I don't care if I got to go through the wilderness. I got to go through some lonely nights, whatever. I'm going to find another route to get to my anointed destination. And it's not going to be with Werner. And then I had to think about it too. Like, I'm doing this big move going back to Florida in a few months. Like, I got to make some changes. Because if I was dealing with this inconsistency with Werner now, and then trying to get this house in a few months, I can't rely on Werner like that. Even though I don't rely on Werner, I rely on God. And I hear him say now, like, come on now, have I failed you yet? No, you have never failed me. But I know the Father ain't going to lead me wrong, because all this stuff is just, ever since I made that decision to leave, everything else has just been falling into place. Like, just like puzzle pieces. And I was like, I'm starting to feel like I made the right decision by moving forward and letting Werner go. Because Werner ain't for everybody. It's not. They want you to be in that truck from 9 to 5, but pay you pennies. Which any company does. I mean, you get paid cents per mile, which is pennies. But I'm sorry. I'm hauling loads that's worth thousands. It's worth slices of bread out of a loaf, and I'm only getting the crumbs, the residue of the loaf. You got me messed up and expect me to stay? And I got personal things and affairs to handle. It got to a point God had me realize, like, you working yourself so hard, you're neglecting yourself. And I was like, how? What do you mean? He's like, when the last time you actually just relaxed, took soaked in a tub and just played some music and just light your incense? And when have you actually meditated? When actually have you pampered yourself? Did a exfoliating treatment on your body? When have you went on a fruit and vegetable diet in a while? Since you've been running yourself crazy with Werner and driving all these times of days and hours of nights and stuff, when you neglecting yourself. You're neglecting yourself. And I was like, I didn't even know I was running myself crazy. And he's like, you running yourself crazy? What have you gained? Except stress. He's like, is it that important? Is money that important to you than yourself? And I was like, no, it's not. Because I remember times I didn't have money and didn't know how I made it to this point and didn't have nothing. So if I didn't have nothing and the Father brought me this far to gain something, I know he'll take me even further. I know he will. He has done it so many times. So many times. And I know from me being obedient, it's been times he done told me to do something that I really, guys, I'm not going to lie to you, really didn't want to do. It was going to hurt me. But once I trust him to the point that I just didn't even question it, just did it, it wound up working out anyway by letting go of so many things. So it got to a point I don't even stress about finances no more, because he remind me every time I stress about was I going to have the money to pay this bill or that bill, it wound up getting paid. When you think it's so much ahead of your future, you stress yourself out instead of embracing the presence, because tomorrow has stress and anxiety and problems of its own, troubles of its own. But today, there's a message in today for you to gain, because you never know that message in the present. If you miss it, you'll wind up not overcoming the battles that you're dealing with internally to even work on a better future for yourself. So I had to learn to just let so many things go. And Werner was one of them, you guys. Like, Werner was. And I feel so much lighter. I feel so much better, more energized, more grateful, more at peace. At first I was kind of troubled, like, dang, did I make a mistake? But if I was like, no, it was time for you to let go. Like, and it was so many signs showing me that it was like somebody flattened my tire on my personal vehicle in the parking lot at the terminal. Somebody came up there a couple weeks ago and just shot off a couple shots in the parking lot. They got dropped off. They walked on the facility, shot off a couple shots, and just disappeared in thin air. And I just happened to leave the terminal a couple of hours ago. So I was just like, and everybody was calling my phone numbers. They're like, oh man, they just had a shootout up here. The whole dang old police station is up here. I'm like, what? Where at? The terminal. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's too much. It's too much chaos. It's too much chaos. And sometimes when you see so much chaos going on around you, it's time to alter route. Like, it's time to take a whole nother alternate route, because I'm not finna, no. And it got to a point that I just, working for Werner was becoming more dreadful. You get what I'm saying? It was becoming more stressful and dreadful. Like, I love driving. Don't get me wrong. I love the peace. I love the scenery, the solitude, you know, everything about it. But it's like Werner was taking that peace. And I'm working my butt off. And I'm seeing a check that's so small. And I'm like, it didn't make sense until somebody that worked for the company for 15, 20 years explained my check to me. I literally signed in and let them see my check, and they explained my check to me. And that's what I come to find out. Y'all been really playing games with me this whole time. And you gave me your word. That's what disappointed me. Like, I thought I had a good friendship with my fleet manager, coming to find out that you lied to me. But I can't get mad at him. I get mad at myself because I put trust and faith in someone. Because I thought they had my best interest at heart. They saw my vision. But obviously you didn't see me. You saw dollar signs. Because I don't know if you guys know, but if you're a driver for a company and you delivering your loads on time and you running your miles and your performance percentage is high, your fleet manager get bonuses. They get bonuses. And sometimes when they hit you up, I don't know this with any other company, I'm going to send it with Werner. Oh, we had a meeting today about our best driver awareness day or best driver performance, and I chose you, so you're going to get $50 added to your check. First of all, what the hell is $50? But come to find out, that's money they owe you. Because they really ain't paying you what you driving. And then when they had driver appreciation day, and I went to one of the big top bosses that come visit the terminals and told them about their miles. Oh, well, that's the first thing he said. Well, that's with any company. All companies do that. That's not right to your drivers. And you want them to be on the road 24/7? Pay these people what they worth. Pay these people what they work for. Because y'all making thousands anyway. Werner made 3.0 million last year. They bought two companies. They bought TMC and Baylor. And they mainly bought them for their accounts. Y'all greedy. And then y'all got all these new trucks, 2024 trucks. Y'all just, every week they got a new class, new orientation class, and selling these people wet dreams. Telling them, oh yeah, we got local accounts and regional accounts we can put you on, get you home daily, And then when they get here, all we got is OTR teams. They done went through orientation, got the truck with their trainer, everything, went through the whole program, got promoted. And you tell them you only got OTR teams. Y'all is greedy. And then y'all wonder why people leaving. Then y'all put these new people, no offense to the newcomers to the journey, to the trucking journey. Everybody went through this phase, so don't take this the wrong way. But you get these new drivers, put them in brand new equipment, and wonder why they mess up. They damaging equipment, totaling equipment. I just helped a driver back. It took dang near freaking 45 minutes to help this man back. And he said he only been on the road for a month. He was begging like he just got in a truck, like he don't even know what he doing. So you telling these people, oh, long as you got 6 months experience, one winter, you qualified to train. That's not enough time to train somebody. You still got plenty things to learn for yourself. Y'all passing these people on their driving test and oh, y'all good. And then wonder why y'all got so many rollovers, accidents, all this type of stuff. Because all y'all care about is this. That's sad. And I see why they're a top major company, because y'all gaining all the wealth and only paying your drivers pennies, like literally freaking pennies. I hauled a load that was $21,000. It said on the paperwork. And that's how I found out about it. It was on the paperwork. I ain't never seen a price of a load on a paperwork before. $21,000. I only got paid $138 for that load. $21,000. I only got paid $138. What that tell you? That's why I say my experience, Werner is a company to get your experience, because yes, they're a first time welcoming company for new drivers. Get your experience and get the heck on. Because when I went to Roadmaster, I only owed like $5,000 and my student loan for going to Roadmaster. What's taking so long to pay it off? Like, I just got my letter. I owe like 1,000, like 1,300 or something like that. What's taking so long to pay that off? And I've been with y'all 2.5 years. Y'all saying my payment is $177 and some change. Y'all pay $250 once a month. What's taking so long to pay it off? But see, they penny pinching. Because as long as you work for Werner and you went to Roadmaster, as long as you work for Werner, they pay for your tuition. They pay for your school. But they penny pinching to make you stay longer. Because that's what I was trying to do. I said, once my student loan is paid off, I was leaving Werner. But I said, bump that. I'll leave Werner and pay it myself. I'm not finna, no. But I'm not finna keep this video long. I just wanted y'all to know, get an update that, yeah, your girl left. Your girl left. Especially after my last week check. 6 loads and only got paid $978. Did over 2,200 miles. $978. My gross was, and I know I'm telling all my business, but this, I'm gonna let y'all know what really pissed me off to leave. My gross was $1,431, but I only got paid $978. And that's not even the actual miles I've driven, because I calculated my miles. Like I told y'all, I send in my mile corrections every week. I did more than 2,200 miles, but you're only gonna tell me I only did 2,200. So obviously, you ain't pay me for all my miles, or you taking money out my check or something, because that don't make sense. But the check before that was only 2 loads, and I got paid $800. Make it make sense. Then the week before that, did 3 loads, got paid $514. Gross be high as shit. But the Million Miler was like, he don't get insurance with the company. He pays for his own insurance. Because if you get insurance with Werner, oh, baby, they taxing like a mug on that. They taxing like a mug. And I was like, well, I covered myself for getting the insurance. He said, that's the only thing I could think of is the insurance coming out. And he's like, wait a minute, go to work day. And I went to work day. He was like, they ain't paying you the miles you driven. Look, they only paying you a set pay of layover, which is, layover is $150. It could be, layover is really $75. But he gave me $150, so he doubled the layover. And he said, look at the check before that. He was like, he's only giving you $150. He's not paying you the miles you driven. And I was like, I be damned. That's why my checks don't add up when I'm actually doing the numbers and calculating. He was like, yeah. But I'm not going to hold this video long, you guys. My little smoothie done melted. But I'm actually finna to relax. I got another errand to run later. But I'll do another video with an update when I start with my other company. But I'm so excited, y'all. I'm going to be driving a day cab. So this is going to be a new experience for me. And I'm hauling containers. So this is going to be a new experience for me. But for right now, I'm enjoying every day home right now. Until that time comes. Even though I'll be coming home every day from that account because it's a local account. I do 2 stops a day. But your girl going to give y'all an update on that. Right now, I'm just not going to tell a lot of, spill a lot of beans right now. But you guys be blessed. Y'all be safe out there. And I will see y'all in the next video, okay? Bye.